Welcome back to USA Coin. If you're a coin enthusiast or just curious about US coinage, you've come to the right place. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Kennedy half dollars. By 1977, the coin was firmly established as a tribute to one of America's most beloved leaders. Although the half dollar had largely fallen out of everyday circulation by this time, it remained a staple for collectors and was widely used in casinos and vending machines. The 1977 issue continued the legacy of this iconic coin, reflecting the economic and cultural trends of the late 1970s. The obverse of the 1977 Kennedy half dollar features a left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His initials, GR, can be found at the truncation of Kennedy's neck. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, depicts the presidential seal, a heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, surrounded by 50 stars. Above the eagle's head is a banner with the motto A Pluribus Unum. The coin's edge is reeded, a standard feature for US coinage. In 1977, Kennedy half dollars were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The mintage numbers are as follows: Philadelphia 4, 3, 5, 9, 8, 0, 0, 0, and Denver 3, 1, 4, 4, 9, 1, 0, 6. Despite these high mintage numbers, finding examples in pristine condition can be a challenge due to pristine decline over face value. However, in MS65 or higher grades, they can fetch $10 to $20. Proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint command higher prices, especially deep cameo proofs, which can be worth $25 or more. Collectors love errors, and the 1977 Kennedy half dollar has a few notable ones. Look out for double dies, particularly on the date or lettering. Die cracks and off-center strikes are also sought after. Depending on the severity, these errors can significantly increase a coin's value, ranging from $50 to several $100. The 1977 Kennedy half dollar is a must-have for those building a complete set of Kennedy halves. Its historical context and classic design make it a favorite among enthusiasts. Beginners and seasoned collectors alike enjoy hunting for high-grade examples and elusive errors. Next up, the year 1974 was an interesting time in US history. The country was recovering from the Watergate scandal and economic uncertainty, yet the Kennedy half dollar remained a symbol of hope and resilience. By this time, the coin had transitioned from a silver composition to a copper-nickel-clad composition, a change that occurred in 1971. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar was widely circulated, but also cherished by collectors. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar retains the same iconic design by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparro. One distinguishing feature of Kennedy half dollars from this period is the sharpness of the strike. Pay attention to the details in Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. These are key indicators of a well-struck coin. Mintage figures for the 1974 Kennedy half dollar are impressive. Philadelphia 2, 0, 1, 5, 9, 6, 0, 0, 0. Denver 7, 9, 0, 6, 6, 3, 0, 0. And San Francisco proof 2, 6, 1, 2, 5, 6, 8. Circulated coins are abundant and often found in coin rolls or bulk lots. However, high-grade uncirculated coins, especially those with lustrous surfaces, can command premium prices, can sell for $10 to $50, while proofs in PR69 deep cameo condition may fetch $25 to $50. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar is famous for its double die obverse variety, where doubling is evident on the date and the words, "In God We Trust." This variety is highly sought after, with values ranging from $50 to $500 depending on condition. Other errors include clipped planchets and off-center strikes, which are popular among error collectors. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar holds a special place in many collections. Its historical significance, coupled with the allure of the double die variety, makes it a favorite among enthusiasts. Whether you're searching for high-grade specimens or rare errors, this coin offers something for everyone. The 1980s were a time of economic growth and technological advancement in the United States. Next up, 1989, the Kennedy half dollar had become more of a collector's item than a circulating coin. Many Americans associated the coin with slot machines and commemorative collections, rather than everyday transactions. However, its enduring appeal ensured its continued production. The The 1989 Kennedy half-dollar features the same timeless design by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparro. One thing to note about this era is the quality of the strike. Advances in minting technology resulted in sharper details, making the 1989 issue a great example of the craftsmanship of US coinage. Mintage numbers for the 1989 Kennedy half-dollar are as follows: Philadelphia 2, 3, 4, 2, 0, 0, 0, Denver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 7, and San Francisco proof 3, 2, 2, 0, 1, 9, 4. While circulated coins are common and inexpensive, uncirculated examples in MS-65 or higher grades can be worth $5 to $10. Proof coins, particularly those with deep cameo contrast, are more valuable, with PR69 examples selling for $20 to $30. Errors on the 1989 Kennedy half-dollar include die cracks, off-center strikes, and double dies. These errors are less common than those on earlier issues, but are still highly collectible. Prices for error coins can range from $50 to several $100, depending on rarity and condition. The 1989 Kennedy half-dollar appealed to collectors who appreciate modern coinage with historical roots. Its relatively low mintage compared to earlier years adds to its allure, especially for those assembling date and mint mark sets. High-grade proofs and error coins are particularly popular among advanced collectors. Next up, to understand the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar, we first need to take a look at its origins. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. In honor of his legacy, the U.S. Mint decided to replace the Franklin half-dollar with a new coin featuring Kennedy's portrait. The original design was created by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, who used a photograph of President Kennedy taken by photographer Jacques Lowe. The reverse design, crafted by Frank Gasparro, features the presidential seal showing an eagle holding a bundle of arrows and an olive branch. Fast forward to 1983, and the design had remained largely unchanged for nearly 2 decades. By this time, however, the metal composition and the way coins were produced were about to change significantly due to various economic factors. This shift in composition, along with changes in mintage and demand, would influence the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar still carries the iconic design that was introduced in 1964. On the obverse, or front, we see President Kennedy's portrait facing left. The word Liberty is inscribed above his head, with the year 1983 below. You'll also find the motto, "In God We Trust," to the right of Kennedy's image. The reverse side, as it has since 1964, shows an eagle with a shield, clutching an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other. Above the eagle, the inscription, "United States of America," is placed, while below the eagle, you'll find half-dollar. As for the composition of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar, this is where things took a significant turn. By 1983, the US Mint had already begun producing coins with a copper-nickel-clad composition, due to rising silver prices. This meant that the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar was made of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, instead of the 90% silver used in earlier years. The change was made in response to the increasing costs of producing silver coins, and it marks the beginning of the copper-nickel-clad era for half-dollars. The coin also has a reeded edge, which gives it that signature look and feel that collaborates with 60 million people. The coin study was made for the purpose of producing tan cards inside of the Carmines below, and 8.3% silver cleared in its present. The coin was made in response to the increasing costs of producing silver coins, and it was named after the 1933 edition of the Carmine silver era. The coin was made in the time of the native inhabitants of Latin America, late in the Middle Ages, and first caused popularity around the 15th century. In terms of mintage, 1983 saw a fairly substantial number of Kennedy half-dollars produced, but not as many as in other years. The total mintage for the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar across all mints was just under 16 million, which might sound like a large number, but in the context of coin production, it's not an overwhelming amount. The mint produced these coins in both Philadelphia and Denver, and both the P and D mint marks can be found on the coins, depending on where they were struck. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar. Since the coin is made of copper-nickel, and because millions were produced, it's not considered rare. In fact, the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is generally worth its face value of 50 cents. However, if you happen to find one in uncirculated condition, it could be worth a little more, possibly between $1 and $5, depending on its condition and collector demand. The higher the grade, the higher the potential value. Coins that grade at MS65 or above, for instance, might fetch a higher price. Also, if you happen to come across any with unique die errors or varieties, those can attract higher premiums from collectors. Now, the situation is a bit different when it comes to proof versions of the 1983 Kennedy half dollar. Proof coins are specially struck for collectors and have a mirror-like polished finish. These coins, which are usually sold directly by the US Mint in special sets, can be worth more than their circulation counterparts. For the 1983 proof Kennedy half dollar, you might see it valued around $5 to $10, or even higher if it's in pristine condition or part of a complete proof set. It's also important to note that while the 1983 Kennedy half dollar doesn't have the same level of historical or numismatic significance as some of the earlier half dollars minted with silver, it still plays a role in the overall series. Coin collectors who are working on completing a full set of Kennedy half dollars often need the 1983 version to fill in that spot. Additionally, the Kennedy half dollar series as a whole continues to be popular among collectors due to the historical connection to President Kennedy and the design's enduring appeal. Though the 1983 Kennedy half dollar doesn't have the high value of its silver predecessors, it still holds sentimental value for many collectors. The series as a whole has become a staple of US coinage, and the 1983 coin is an important part of that history, especially given that it represents a transition in both design and composition. It also marks the era when the United States was moving away from precious metals in its everyday currency due to economic challenges. So, in conclusion, the 1983 Kennedy half dollar might not be one of the most valuable coins out there, but it's a key piece in the Kennedy half dollar series and American numismatic history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual enthusiast, adding this coin to your collection can help complete the picture of an iconic series that continues to resonate with people across the country. Next up, by the time we get to the 1985 coin, the series had been going strong for over 20 years. The design of the Kennedy half dollar had remained unchanged since its inception in 1964. The obverse still features Kennedy's profile, facing left, and the reverse still carries the eagle with the shield, clutching an olive branch and arrows. These elements have become iconic, and collectors who seek to complete their Kennedy half dollar collections need to include the 1985 version. The composition of the 1985 Kennedy half dollar is also consistent with the changes that took place in the early 1970s. By 1971, due to rising silver prices, the US Mint stopped using silver in the half dollar and switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1985 Kennedy half dollar, like its predecessors from 1971 onward, is made of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This composition gives the coin a distinctive color and a slightly lower intrinsic value compared to the earlier silver half dollars. In terms of mintage, the 1985 Kennedy half dollar was produced in fairly large numbers. The US Mint struck over 15 million of these coins that year, and they were produced in both Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, while those from the Denver Mint have a small D mint mark on the reverse. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1985 Kennedy half dollar. Because it's made from copper nickel and was produced in relatively high quantities, it doesn't have much intrinsic value. If you find a regular 1985 Kennedy half dollar in circulation, it's worth face value, 50 cents. However, if you're lucky enough to find one in uncirculated condition, it may be worth a little more to collectors. Coins in uncirculated condition could sell for anywhere between $1 and $5, depending on their grade and demand from collectors. Introduction. Proof versions of the 1985 Kennedy half dollar are a different story. These coins are specially minted with a mirror-like finish and are produced for collectors rather than for circulation. Proof coins are typically sold in sets directly by the US Mint. A proof 1985 Kennedy half dollar might be worth $5 to $10, or even more if it's part of a pristine set or has a particularly high grade. As with all coins, the value of the 1985 Kennedy half dollar can vary depending on its condition. If you're looking to buy or sell one, be sure to check current prices with trusted coin dealers or auction sites, as values can fluctuate over time based on the market and collector interest. Despite not being made of silver, and despite the fact that millions of 1985 Kennedy half dollars were produced, this coin still holds a place in many collectors' hearts. It's part of the larger Kennedy half dollar series, which remains one of the most popular series in US coinage. The 1985 coin, while not rare, is an important piece for anyone trying to complete their collection of Kennedy half dollars. Plus, it's a reminder of the legacy of President Kennedy and the historical significance of the series. In conclusion, the 1985 Kennedy half dollar is a great coin for any collection, even though it doesn't carry the high value of its silver counterparts. It's a coin that represents the transition in US coinage away from silver, while still preserving the iconic image of President Kennedy. Whether you're a collector or just someone interested in the history of US coins, the 1985 Kennedy half dollar has a place in the story. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Leave a comment down below. Do you have a 1985 Kennedy half dollar in your collection? What condition is it in? Let's talk about it. Until next time, happy collecting.